let's take a minute to talk about skill. Because while character is something that's set pretty early in our lives and that we can adjust, but it's more like steering a big boat sometimes. And while vision is something that we learn in another way, skill is something that we can be taught and that we can improve with practice. When I was 13 years old, my parents had guests over for coffee almost every Sunday night. And one Sunday night, they had this man and his wife over, and his name was Guido Scarboza. And he was an Italian immigrant, and he was an amazing carpenter. And as the adults sat around in the living room and just talked about whatever, he mentioned how hard it was to find anyone who would work hard for him as a carpenter's assistant. And I was standing in the doorway, and I piped up and said, I'd work hard. And he looked at me and said, okay, you can start on Thursday, you'll need this, and show up at such and such a time in such and such a place. And I did. The first thing Guido taught me was how to hold a hammer. You might think, oh, there's nothing to holding a hammer, but there is if you want to hammer all day and not get tired. And if you want to be able to drive a 3-inch spike in with one hit instead of 5 or 6. He taught me that a good hammer is made so that the face of the hammer means the handle goes straight out, parallel to the floor, not down at an angle or up at an angle. He taught me to relax my wrist, and that's where all the power comes from, not from moving my shoulder up and down. Well, for the next 5 years, I worked for Guido in summers and sometimes after school and on Saturdays. And by the time I graduated from high school, I could build a house on my own, complete with the cabinets, everything. When I was 19, I had a crew of 15 guys working underneath me on a framing crew. And it's because Guido taught me the skills. He taught me how to think ahead. He taught me how to read a plan. He taught me how to work persistently. He taught me how to give directions to other people. He taught me how to hold a hammer. He taught me all these things. Years later, I was building a house, and Guido had moved down to California, and he asked if he could come up and help me with the building for a week. And I said, you know, more than that, if you would come up and if you would build a wardrobe, that would really mean a lot. Something that would last, and even if I ever moved out of this house, it could come with me. So Guido came up, and unbeknownst to him, I had built a dining table and chairs. It was all mortises and tenons and no nails or screws in it, and it was all fit together and made out of oak. And he came in and he saw that, he said, oh, who made this? And I said, I did. And he said, oh, he said, Greg, you did good. But the only reason I could do it was because Guido gave me the skill. And he not only taught me how to do things, but how to learn how to do things, because I used things on that table and chairs that Guido had never taught me, but he taught me how to figure things out. So wherever you can, pick up skill. Wherever you can, find people who are really good at passing on skill. Because some people are good at doing things, but they're not very good at teaching others how to do it. Oh, I should tell you that Guido started his apprenticeship in Italy when he was 12 years old, and he was finished by the time he was 16. And for his final exam, he made a beautiful bedroom suite with curved panels, a wardrobe, a bed, dresser, all made from hand tools out of bird's eye maple. Magnificent piece of furniture. No wonder he thought he could teach a 13-year-old kid how to build a house.